And when you look at the Israel policy, that's where people start to say, I think you're looking out for yourselves first. I think you're biased. And unfortunately, you're using the public purse and American soldiers to fight your own battles. And that's the problem. It's not, I don't have hatred. I don't have a problem with or even what to do. It's just that with our system, that doesn't work.
In this video, Nick Fuentes destroys Patrick Bet-David in a way that even Patrick Bet-David was shocked. We all know how Patrick Bet-David supports Israel, and the reason is he doesn't want to mess with the big sharks who could take down his whole company. That is why he always seems to stay neutral or fully support Israel. But in this podcast segment, Nick Fuentes just exposed him right in front of his own show, PBD Podcast, pointing out how biased Patrick Bet-David is toward Israel. The debate gets totally heated at the end, so let's watch together.
Between the two communities, Muslim and Jews, which one concerns you more?
Jews, for sure.
Tell me why.
More powerful. They're more powerful.
So more powerful in a way, you're talking the fact that they have money, finance, Hollywood. Is that what you're
yeah, they have more position in American society.
And how do you think they got that?
I think they got it because they are extremely connected. They're a transnational entity. You know, this is how the Rothschilds got started. Their superpower is that they live everywhere, and they have their Jewish identity supersedes their local identity. So a Jewish person in America or in Germany or in France or in the UK, they can all talk to each other and work together.
Do you think that's a bad thing?
Not in and of itself. It is detrimental for America, though. And when I grew up, I saw myself as American. I didn't see myself as Italian American. I just saw myself as American. And I think that, you know, when you see Jewish people working together, I don't think there's anything wrong with that inherently. And I agree with you. It's like a superpower. It's actually admirable in some ways. They look out for each other. Society becomes, American society in particular, a place where every group is ganging up. Well, we're the whites, we're the blacks, we're the Jews, we're the then I think what America is starts to come apart, and it turns into kind of like a bit of a politicized race war. And I think that you either have to have a society where everybody gets to play by those rules and everybody could be pro what they are, or everybody is assimilated and we're all Americans. And that's why I say it's detrimental, is that if Jewish people are Jewish first, not of, by, and for America, but of, by, and for the Jewish nation, this is problematic when they're in positions of power, because are they looking out for all of us, or are they looking out for themselves first? And when you look at the Israel policy, that's where people start to say, I think you're looking out for yourselves first. I think you're biased. And unfortunately, you're using the public purse and American soldiers to fight your own battles. And that's the problem. It's not, I don't have hatred for them. I don't have a problem with them in themselves or even what they do. It's just that with our system, that doesn't work.
Like, whatever Nick Fuentes is saying is totally true. How can you deny the fact? People like Patrick Bet-David and people like Ben Shapiro are fully committed to turning America from the United States of America to United States of Israel very soon. Yes, United States of Israel. Literally, Israel is using American taxpayers' money for genocide. And yet people like Patrick Bet-David are still blind as they continue to argue and even right now defend Israel. Guys, let me know in the comments your point of view. Do you agree with Nick that Patrick Bet-David is acting totally biased toward Israel? I would really like to know your perspective on this one. So let's continue watching the video.
And I said, I think Ben Shapiro is Israel first. And I think that when Trump says in his inaugural, it's America first, why is it that Israel gets all this foreign aid? They're the #1 recipient for 50 years. They're not a poor country. Why is it that much largesse? And so I would press her on this and other related questions. And eventually she threw arms up in, I think it was March 2017. And she said, we are no longer in the same movement. She said, you are anti-Israel. The way you're going about this is anti-Semitic.
This is Casey.
This is, Cassie Dillon.
Cassie Dillon.
She goes, you're attacking Shapiro and in an anti-Semitic way. I don't like your tone. She said, and I really want nothing to do with you anymore. And so she blocked me on Twitter, and my whole friend group who was with Daily Wire, Elliot Hamilton, Aaron Bandler, all these other writers at Daily Wire, they all blocked me. They would not talk to me.
Was there so from that moment to you having some sort of animosity or whatever word you want to use, animosity or frustration towards Ben, what is the timeline from that moment, 18, to frustration and animosity towards Ben?
Well, I had already had animosity towards him.
Why is that?
So in December, some months before, I put out a tweet on Twitter, and I had about 1,000 followers on Twitter. 1,000. Think of that's not a big account. And I tweeted, I said, if you put China over America, you should go to China. If you put Mexico over America, you should go to Mexico. You see where this is going? I said, if you put Israel over America, you should go live in Israel. Shapiro quote tweeted that, accusing Jews of dual loyalty is the surest sign that you're an anti-Semite.
Had 1,000 followers? Why would he retweet that?
Someone must have sent it to him.
Here at this very moment, Patrick Bet-David was actually expecting a different answer from Nick Fuentes. But does Patrick Bet-David see what his boss Benjamin Netanyahu is saying and lying about on public media? Let me just show you a simple glimpse.
Why do they say Israel's like starving the people of Gaza?
Well, because we're trying to get the food in, and we let food trucks in, and guess what happens when we let them in? Hamas steals the food, takes the good chunk for itself. Then they jack up the prices, and then they sell the food to its population, to its hungry population, if they give them at all. And then use the money that they take from their own people to recruit more killers into their terror machine.
Guys, can you see the lies? Like, seriously, how confidently can someone lie straight into the camera and expect the world to just believe it? Netanyahu just said that Hamas is stealing food meant for Palestine civilians, and that Israel is the one allowing aid to enter Gaza.
Because we're trying to get the food in, and we let food trucks in.
Excuse me? Are we living in the same reality? This is the same government that has bombed bakeries, flattened aid convoys, blocked trucks for weeks, and literally turned food into a weapon, and now they want to play the good guy? Bro, who are you fooling? Children are starving, babies are dying, hospitals are begging for supplies, and Netanyahu is out here acting like they are the ones trying to help. And let's not forget, Netanyahu's own son was crying online, acting like Joe Rogan should invite his war criminal dad onto the podcast. Are you out of your mind? Joe Rogan didn't even invite Trump, and you think he's gonna give a platform to guy whose actions are being called out by the entire global south? Bro, my respect goes to Joe Rogan for not turning his podcast into a propaganda machine. But unfortunately, Patrick Bet-David couldn't act like Joe Rogan. Unlike Joe Rogan, who often challenges his guests and hold them accountable, Patrick Bet-David simply revealed his true colors by giving a platform to a war criminal like Benjamin Netanyahu, allowing him to spread lies and propaganda unchecked. And what is shocking is how casually he does this, as if the suffering of millions doesn't matter. Many people don't realize that these interviews aren't just casual conversation. They are tool used to manipulate people's opinion globally, presenting a narrative that ignores the devastation faced by innocent civilians. By giving Netanyahu this platform, Patrick Bet-David effectively becomes a part of the machinery that normalizes occupation, destruction, and human rights abuses. Instead of questioning, challenging, or fact-checking the claims, he lets them pass unchallenged, giving legitimacy to actions that have resulted in thousands of deaths, demolished homes, and traumatized generations. So I want to ask you, what do you support here? Joe Rogan for refusing to give platform to Netanyahu, or Patrick Bet-David for allowing one of the most controversial figure in the world to spread lies to the entire planet? Let me know your point of view in the comments. I would really want to hear what you think about this, because Patrick Bet-David's choice here isn't just poor journalism, it's dangerously irresponsible.